don't think that's gonna work. I think that might be a little bit hard to figure out. At least I hope the MTG bot has. I mean, you could try some of the other stuff. Anyway, I'm still in the midst of actually sleeving the cards that I have. Let me make sure. You try, hold on. There was an attempt. Oh, looks like there might be actually just basic static on there now. Let me change something. Half squirrel. Eight and a half tails. Yeah, so what was I in the middle of doing? What I was doing was actually making sure I had enough sleeves for this deck. Move the microphone down a bit. Yeah, I actually have a microphone sitting here in front of me, so that way it can pick up all my talk. So, am I loud enough? Should I be louder? What's the deal here, Cobra Hand? So I'll show you all the rest of the cards that I'm playing with the deck. Alright, things have been fixed. Gotta make it so every single Twitch that I do will be fantastic and easy. I just really hate that my first 2 hours of my streaming was basically not listenable. So basically it's not gonna be fun to put it on YouTube. Let's just put it that way. But this next stuff I can put on YouTube, so make sure MTG bot is the moderator, so that way he can be there and tell me some stuff. Anyway, let me make sure that these sleeves are perfect with the other sleeves, and then we'll show you all the cards I'm playing with. Yes, they are. These sleeves are finally perfect. So what I was doing the past 2 hours, well, not 2 hours, the full 2 hours was not getting sleeves, but like at least 30 minutes was spent trying to get sleeves because I couldn't find sleeves. It's a thing that happens quite often to a lot of people. I know. I'm putting these contraptions in sleeves too. But the idea was that once I put these in sleeves, I was actually going to do a mock game, and I was going to change the camera angle so that way you can see what will come up in the game, so you can get an idea of where the deck is going and what's going on with it. Pro tip to finding sleeves. I'm listening. Don't wear tank tops. Ah ha 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 ha. Good one. I find sleeves chafe and leave welts on my arms, but that's a different story for another day. Aleatory guy, how are you holding on? Can you, are you enjoying the stream now that you can actually hear me? Alright, so we've got our contraptions and sleeves, which means that what we're going to have to do is have an extra contraption, I guess, for the back That seems fun. So we'll have a contraption just in its own sleeve, so we can put these with it. That seems good. Alright, so those will go there. Anyway, you want to know what I have in my deck, right? So we came to the conclusion that we want to run Phoebe, Head of Sneak, which actually I was thinking of having her as the commander. This is actually one of the things that I was going to use as the commander, but with Aleatory Guy, I have actually 3 copies of X, including the foil one, so I was like, well, let's use X, because I want to put them in somebody's hand, and then I want to start casting their stuff, and feeling like I'm like ninja stealthing into their hand seems like a good idea. So we put Phoebe into the actual deck. She's a good commander too if you wanted to run her. Side note, when she steals text boxes from creatures, they don't get it back. They're gone. So if you steal, well, as long as they're on the battlefield anyway. If they go to the battlefield and come back, they're a different object, so they'll have a new text box. But let's say, for example, you steal Wormcoil Engine's text box. It doesn't split into 2 creatures anymore. It's just a 6/6. It gets pretty gross. Let's see, well, what do we got? Once I got Phoebe, I probably have her rotate the commander slot with X and Lazav. Yes, I agree. I'll probably do a rotation with that too, where I'll just, if I feel like it, I'll make it X or not. So the cool thing about X is that even though I have him in the heart sleeve, and you know, it goes into their hand, I mean, their hand gets revealed anyway, so it's just going to be on the battlefield. So I don't have to worry about it actually being held. They'll just have to figure out how to discard him in a different way. Anyway, let's continue on with the cards that are actually in the deck. We've got Secret Base, the Secret Base for the Sneak, because we've got, you know, we've got lots of Sneak cards in here, so we'll be able to cast those for the mana. So that should help with mana. And of course, it casts the commander too, so. We've got this one, which I can't wait to do. Animate Library. Enchant your library. Seems pretty powerful in Commander because your library is super huge. So yeah, that's a thing. So here's a combo that I figured out while I was being garbled earlier. You've got Animate Library. Your library is now a creature. So here's a question for the chat. What do you think happens when you animate your library and then put Blade of Selves on your library? What do you think happens with these 2 cards? So, here's my take. You animate your library. Your library is now an artifact creature with power and toughness and power and toughness each equal to its number of cards in it. And then you equip it with the Blade of Selves. Blade of Selves gives the equipped creature Myriad. Creature's still a creature. When you attack with the equipped creature, it creates... Oh, you're right. It creates well, hold on. Its power toughness isn't X. The creature on the battlefield. Well, I mean, it has to keep checking. Well, how many cards are in it to know what its power is. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I would have to get a ruling, because I'm hoping that it makes a creature that's the same power and toughness, but I'd have to get another ruler. Another creature so they don't have the... Well, you're making a copy of it as a creature, but I guess it's also a library when you do that? Yeah. So what you're saying is that I'm getting a bunch of empty library tokens that are kind of just doing the same thing as a